everyone, and shout out to each and every one of you. And thank you guys so much for tuning into your girl Siren on the Siren Speak Show. I hope you guys are having a wonderful time. Today, we are going to talk about ways that you guys can level up your life today. Okay, not having to wait for the future or having to wait for something to come about. There are ways that you guys can level up your life today. So why not get started? Want to know how? Let's talk about it. All right. So, y'all, it's been a lot going on, right? There's been so much that's going on. And shout out to my Patreon family who have been keeping up with what it is that we need to do and what it is that we are going to be experiencing throughout these different astrological events that are going on or coming up. You guys, August is going to be a tough month, September as well as October. But, if you know, you will be able to do certain things to, wiggle your way up out of it, right? So, ways that things that we can do to level ourselves up, you guys, energetically is what I'm talking about, because I tell you guys all the time that your reality is based upon your frequency. I always say change your frequency, change the experience, period, point blank. Ain't nothing else you can say after that. Change your frequency, change your experience. So you guys already know I'm about to segue into ways that you can change and uplift your frequency so that you can experience, a better life, right? So, different things. Now, y'all know I deal with folk every day. Every day I'm dealing with somebody via a consultation. And I'm always doing things and recommending things for people to really, get a life, get a frequency up, get their life together and experience what it is that they want to and need to experience. So I have to tell people a lot of things things that they need to do to uplift their experience. And lately, I've been getting a lot of great testimonies. Okay, so the energy is back, y'all. All right. I ain't gonna lie to you. The energy, the frequency, whatever, it is back. That energy is there for us to grab onto and for us to really move forward with it. So yeah. Speaking to a lot of people, you guys, doing a lot of counseling sessions, especially, is very important. Okay, so with those who I do counseling sessions for, so I do consultation as well as I do counseling sessions. And you guys, the counseling sessions are very therapeutic. A lot of people, even those of you who get consultations from me, find that you tend to lean more towards it feeling like a counseling session, being able to express yourself without judgment. Oh, because your girl Siren done been through it all. But being able to express yourself, being able to be heard, and feeling validated by your points, regardless of whether you're right or wrong, So getting yourself some sort of counseling, you guys, is a great way for you to level up, because sometimes the throat, there's things that you need to express. There's things that you need to say. Right. And there is a way that you can get things out via counseling. If you have a great counselor that you guys can go to, if you want, you can go to spiritualcandice.com and book you a nice counseling session, you guys. But getting things off your chest, what we need to do is focus on healing that throat chakra. When we heal the throat chakra, you guys, listen, you would not know how many of you have a blocked throat chakra. Okay, remember, we live in a world right now, or we live in the part of the world that proclaims freedom of speech, right? However, we are not able to get a lot of things off our chest that really need to be said. So what we may be speaking on may not be things that need to be said or heard. Okay, so getting you someone that you can speak to, getting some things off your chest. If you feel like, look, there's just some things I just don't care to discuss with folk, write it down in a journal. You guys, get yourself a journal, okay, that you can, write what it is that you feel and get some things off your chest. Speak to people, okay, that you don't want to speak to in person. A lot of people during my counseling sessions ask me if they have a problem with their father. Well, do I need to call my dad right now? Do I need to call my sister right now? Do I need to call my cousin? Whomever it is that they have an issue with, they always say, well, do I need to call that person? You don't ever have to reach out to that person. Remember, that person is a representation of something that is going on within you. Okay, that beef that you have or have had with a family member, a significant other, an ex-friend, whomever it may be, that person is a representation of something that is already within you. So this is why I always tell people you don't have to reach out. If that is something you feel comfortable with as far as healing, then okay, pick up the phone, hello, make it happen. But it's not part of the process, or it's not a critical part of the healing process. Everything that you do is going to be something that you do on your own terms. It makes you feel comfortable, and that way you get to release this energy. A lot of you are just holding on to some things that definitely need to be said, some things that we need to get off our chest. Okay, the throat chakra, to me, the throat chakra is one of the most critical chakras that are attacked the moment we incarnate into these avatars. It is it's kind of like it is programmed, okay, for just certain things to be said. And if you are saying something that does not, because we've seen it, all of us have seen scenarios where people speak out on things that allegedly they should not speak out about. And guess what? Kaboom. You know what I'm saying? That's it. It's over and done. We hear no more about it. Nobody talks about it. Everybody's afraid, again, to open their mouth and say something. Okay. And we need to stop allowing things to get swept under the rug, and we need to really voice ourselves. So whatever you need to say, find a way to get that off of your chest. Find a way to let it out. Find a way to say something. Okay. Some of us, it's not about what we aren't saying or the person who we need to get it off. Some of you, it's just you needing to open up in life about what it is that you really want, voicing your opinion, voicing how you feel. Okay. Some of you just take and take and take and take and take. Let me tell you something. Just because that is your mother, it doesn't mean that you don't need to say certain things. A lot of us give family members too many passes that they don't deserve. One thing I would not say is you need to disrespect your mother or your father. I wouldn't ever encourage anyone to disrespect their parents. However, I will always tell you to have a healthy relationship with your parents, meaning they gonna hear how you feel, whether they like it or not. There's no disrespect. There's no malice. Go for it. Get it off your chest. Okay. We need to learn, even when it comes to supervisors, a lot of people don't say things because they fear losing their job. If fear is behind it, you know you in the wrong lane. Okay. If fear is all around it, you in the wrong lane. Get out of that. Maybe they might lose their job. It doesn't matter, but you shouldn't let a job, okay, be something that holds you back in life. Get it off your chest. A lot of you, this throat chakra healing is coming up, okay? The need to heal and cleanse and detox that throat chakra. Okay, so whatever else works for you, you guys, as far as throat chakra cleansing or healing or detoxing, whatever you need to do, get up and get it done. Get it off your chest. Okay, say it with your chest is what I want to say, right? So I was watching a movie, seriously, for real. Now it is coincidental that the movie, I ain't gonna say it's coincidental, but the movie is very relevant to a lot of my thoughts, okay? But I was watching this movie, and it was about this young man and this young lady who ended up getting hired at this company. They didn't even know what the company does. But these two people had very special spiritual gifts and or talents. The young lady was a seer. Okay, so she was able to read minds and stuff like that. She could read your thoughts. She can just, you could sit next to her and she would just know everything you saying, you think, everything. She was just good. So they hired her for that reason right there alone. And then the young man, he had a gift of he would be able to put his hand on something, and he could, if something was hidden, all he got to do is put his hand to it and he would see things. So it's kind of like he was able to see in other dimensions. He was a multi-dimensional seer. Okay, so you guys, wherever you are right now, wherever you're watching this from, you have your reality. Like, see, this is my background. This is my reality. But in another dimension, there are things floating through me and around me. Pew, 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 pew. There's so many different levels to this reality, right? So he was able to see in other dimensions, right? And there was something that was hidden in another dimension that the guy who hired them needed found. He was not able to see in other dimensions, right? He mastered the dimension he was in, but he was not able to see in another dimension. So he hired these two people specifically for that, but they didn't know that, you know what I'm saying, in the beginning. They didn't know why they were hired, right? They never even told them what it is that they wanted them to do. They had them sit there for a little while and they made them sign a contract, meaning you got hired. This is your job contract. So they made them sign a contract, right? Okay, listen, this contract says you got the job. Now, the young lady, they gave her what they pulled her to the side and say, hey, we want you to sign the fast track contract. So the young man signed the regular contract and she agreed to sign the fast track contract, which means she would be management within 2 weeks. And then after management, she would probably become a director of something. And then maybe the CEO, CFO, COO, whatever. She was on the fast track, right? So the young man, okay, now he's like, oh, how did you get on a fast track? She was like, whatever, I'm on a fast track or whatever the conversation was. She was like, yeah, I'm on a fast track. So I'm already going into training for management. And he's like, dang, we just started like Monday. By Friday, she's already going into training for management, right? So they finally come and tell the young man what his job is. So the owner of the company says, listen, I need you to find something that is lost, right? So he told him, you have the ability to see in different dimensions. I need you to look into a different dimension. He was like, well, what am I looking for? He was like, you'll know when you find it. Okay. So the young man goes to looking, and as he starts to look into other dimensions inside of the building that they were working in, he was able to find out that these contracts, the fast track contracts, when people would sign off over on these, they would have given over the rights to their soul. So once these people have signed over the rights to their soul, this company would then be able to manipulate their thoughts and make them do things that they probably wouldn't normally do. So, for example, the young lady started to say, I feel different. I just don't feel like myself. She didn't like coffee. All of a sudden, she wanted to drink coffee. She didn't like licorice. All of a sudden, she's shoving licorice down her face, right? And it was just certain things that she was like, this just normally, I don't know, all of a sudden, I just like this, or all of a sudden, I want to do this. They were manipulating her on this fast track contract, you guys. So once he found out that they were still that they stole her soul, he wanted to, help her get her soul back, because the guy was not trying to let her out of the contract. He was not going to terminate her or fire her for nothing in the world. He's like, nope, you signed the contract. You are here. You work here. So the moral of the story is, you guys, what contract have you signed? A lot of us, it doesn't take a job. Okay, it's not about a job. Some of you have signed over your soul to people, friends, family members, co-workers. Some of you have signed over your soul to random strangers. Okay, let me give y'all an example. I'm gonna put y'all up on game. I'm telling y'all how to level up. Okay, you're gonna level up because you're gonna have to get into a stronger position, a higher position in this life, in this world, in order for us to move forward. Okay. Now, let me give you an example where you can sell your soul, okay? Or parts of your soul, or your ashe, your energy. When I say sell your soul, I usually refer to that as like, a not really being able to sell your soul, but the essence of who you are, giving somebody a part of you that don't deserve it, okay? Or control over you. So I recently went on a trip, right? And during this trip, I started to notice a lot of where we were. I noticed a lot of people who were I don't want to say homeless, but the vagabond energy, right? And these people were zoned out to the point where one of them, his pants was literally mid thigh and his shirt was like mid belly. So we're sitting there watching him walk by with his arsh literally exposed in the front as well. But he just got his book bag on and he just walking, and I'm just like, everybody seemed to have some sort of, body part exposed during this this little trip I was on, and I was in Houston. Okay. So one of them, Bay was getting ready to give the guy a couple of dollars because one of them was actually digging through the trash, right? And that's the thing about it, you guys. All of them were digging through trash. Now, it was to a point where we were at the gas station and was putting all the trash from the vehicle we were in, because we eat and, stop, get snacks and stuff like that. So I'm putting all of our trash in a bag and I tied the bag. And my daughter went to throw the bag in the garbage can, but it missed the garbage can. And one of the guys walks up and he's like, "Oh, I got it." So we're thinking he's going to put it in the trash, but he takes it with him and he starts to go through it. Everybody I noticed was digging through trash. What were they looking for? I don't know. It doesn't appear as if they were looking for something in specific. Okay. But one would think maybe they're looking for clothes. Maybe they're looking for, food. Maybe they're looking for scraps. Maybe they're looking for money. I don't know. But anywho, so they proceeded to give one of them a couple of dollars. And I'm telling them, like, I pulled him back, like, "Hey." So he's like, "What? I want to give him a couple of dollars. I don't want to see him eating out of the trash or digging through the trash like this." And I'm like, "Listen, it's not whether you want to see him. Okay. It's if that's what he wants to do, that's his decision, right? That's his life choice. He has made a decision to live like this." Now, the minute you remember, everything is an exchange, everything is an even exchange of energy. Okay. This is why I always teach you guys there's an even exchange of energy. Do not do anyone favors. This is not a universe or dimension where we should be doing favors. It leaves an open ended a contract. Okay. So I tell Bay, I say, "Listen, if you give him money," right? Because they gave it to him. I said, "When you gave him that money, you gave him energy, which means you gave him your energy, which was money. Now he has got to give you his energy in return." Okay? His energy. And it has to be an even exchange of energy. So when we're out here and we're giving to these, people who are choosing to live on the streets and dig through trash and things of that nature, you're exchanging your energy with them. And you already see what it is that they have to give. 90 something percent of them have very low vibrational entities attached, okay, where they're high out of their mind, they're not aware, they're not conscious, something else has taken over. So you don't know what energy or what entity you are exchanging energy with. So I told Bay, I said, "Listen, I wouldn't have done that. One thing about me, I will donate to a company, you know what I'm saying, before I will give money to just random homeless folk on the street. If you're homeless, go to that shelter down there because I donate to them where they will have more than enough food, okay, for you guys to eat. People donate to them. You can go there and you can get food, right?" But that's why I say, you guys, because really a company or organization is a corporation. So this corporation, you know what I'm saying, is going to have much higher energy to give back to you than it would this, person on the street who may not. But like I say, these people were gone, y'all. We're not talking about somebody who having a rough time in life and, maybe gonna be on the streets for a couple months living out of their car. We're not talking, I'm talking about these people were gone to the point where I don't feel as if they would be able to have a conversation type. Like, I don't know what language they would be speaking type gone. These people were gone. Okay. So yeah, paying attention to your energy, you guys, being careful who it is that you exchange your energy with is another way to level yourself up. Now, remember, this also goes over or falls over into intimacy, the world of intimacy. Just like those people on the street may have one and or several entities attached to them, okay? This is the same way when it comes to being intimate with people. People have entities, energies attached to them. Some people have multiple. This is why sometimes women, after you're intimate with someone, you may develop a odor, you may develop a UTI, you may develop some sort of infection, or you may inherit some form of a STD. Okay, because these are people who have entities, low vibrational entities attached to them. Okay, now a lot of these entities, you guys, they come from the lower realms. All right, goblins, ghouls, and y'all may think, oh, that's just Halloween talk. Okay, it is what it is. But they have all of these low vibrations attached to them. When you level yourself up and you're tapped and you're in tune, you will be able to sense these energies, you guys. Sometimes the hair on the back of your neck will start to stand up, or on your arms, or sometimes you'll go around people and for me, I get nauseous. I will get a serious nausea, like, it's gotten bad for me. It's gotten real strong to the point where back in the day, maybe I would sense a little something like, but now, like, I can pick up on so much energy to where I could tell where the entity is attached to the person. I could stand next to somebody in a grocery line, and all of a sudden my leg go to hurting really bad. And soon as that person walk off, boop, no more pain. No more pain. I've gone to a restaurant where I sat next to somebody, and all of a sudden my stomach, I'm like, oh my God, somebody is suffering from severe stomach issues. There's something y'all, I pick up on a lot of stuff. Okay. And you guys can too. That way you're not dealing with people that aren't worthy of you dealing with them. Y'all have to really clean y'allself up. Y'all have to really work on that frequency, level that frequency up so you guys can be able to detect, okay, what it is that is going on around you and what energy it is that you're coming in contact with, okay? So yes, working on your frequency, you guys, is definitely going to be one of the ways, okay, that you can level yourself up. Your mental, okay? Now, what I'm going to tell you is you are what you eat. So whatever it is you putting in your body, you guys, you're going to have to become more responsible with your body. Now, some people could eat McDonald's. I don't know how many people in the, woke community or the spiritual community that I'm like, wow, you're eating McDonald's? That is just the craziest thing. But if they could eat McDonald's, maybe their stomach can handle it. Okay, mine can't. My mind can't handle it. Be careful with what it is that you're eating, you guys. Most of you already know. Siren always tell you, try to eat according to your blood type. That will help a lot. Okay, be careful with what it is that you're putting in your body. When you go to everybody's house, you should not be eating from everybody's house. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, you should not, because you don't know what energy is in their house. You don't know what entities, you don't know what they're dealing with. Now, we always say, and what I'm going to tell you is, if you are somebody like me, you're a foodie and you love to eat and you know how to recognize a good old plate of food, okay, a well-seasoned plate of food that's real good, and you like, look, I just got to have, listen, learn how to raise the vibration of your food before you consume it. Okay, Patreon, I've already told you guys what it is that you need to do and how to do this. Raise the vibration of that plate, okay, before you consume it. And that's with any and everything, you guys. Listen, by the time you go to Chick-fil-A, pull up in the drive-thru, your food have been through thousands of hands before you put it in your mouth. All of those chicken patties, remember, they were once at a factory being made, or a plant being made. Think of all the people that had to put the product in, because y'all know they ain't no chicken, okay? Allegedly. But anywho, think about all the people who had to make sure the patties were seasoned right. And, then they have to put them inside of the bag. And then when they put them in the bag, they have to now process them for, shipping. And then when they ship, now that you got the UPS driver, or you got the truck driver that got it and he's handling it. And then you got the warehouse workers that all of these people, all of their energy have touched your food. This is a lot of energy before you consume something. And that's why I say you want to raise the vibration of your food before you consume it. That is a critical thing that you can do, okay? To level yourself up today is learn that, incorporate that into your day-to-day life. I don't care what it is, you guys, that you are putting in your face. Raise the vibration of it before you shove it in your face and chew it, okay? So majority of you would say, hey, pray over your food. All right. In other words, pray over your food. Okay, before you consume it, because there's just a lot of energy out here. A lot of these people that work, if you look at a lot of the managers at these fast food restaurants, child, they be in the back smoking like it ain't nobody's business. Okay, they probably got a pint or a fifth or something, or a pint of something in their pocket or in their car. You know, you don't know what issues they probably don't love their liver, their kidneys. You know, they eat, they drink, they smoke, whatever it may be. You know, and then now they over there handling your food. Then you got a lot of teenagers that work at these fast food restaurants, and you know they got, ooch, they are too susceptible. They're at an age where, and I think that's why they put a lot of teenagers in fast food restaurants, because they're at an age where they can be easily compromised. They've moved on from those, you know, young years where you telling them what to do. And now they're at an age where they're kind of not quite adult, but almost adult, almost on their own. So they're going through puberty. They're going through a lot of emotions. You know, they no longer get the stuff that they used to want all the time. Now they got to get a job. They're frustrated. So yes, they are easy. Okay, easy to be compromised at that point. Now you got all of these compromised teens working on your food. Okay, and when I say compromise, it means they've already probably been hacked. Okay, they're all, because a lot of teens, you know, this is a very, you got to think about when you were in your teens, you know, the life decisions that you made. You know, we was ready. We was eager to get out there in them streets and, you know, act like we was grown and stuff like that. We was ready. We was about that life. But also that was a time where, you know, I had more mature men coming at me. You know what I'm saying? I had I was out there in the world when before I was just at home, you know, go to school and go home, go to maybe your cousin's house or something and go home, you know. But now it was to the point now where I was out in the public. So I had people, lots of people had access to me. Right? So the minute we get from up under the wings of our parents, you guys, we're easily susceptible to some sort of compromising, okay, by these outside beings that are just out there ready to snatch you up. Next thing you know, you hate your parents, or next thing you know, you're trying alcohol before you're old enough, or you're trying some sort of supplement. You know what I'm saying? Somebody done influence you to be intimate. Girl, you need to get it. You know what I'm saying? You've tried all type of things at that point. Okay, which means you can be easily influenced, which is why it is very, you know, understandable as to why they would put a lot of teenagers, because they know by the time we get to a certain age, we just want fast food because we tired of cooking. So let me just go grab a pizza. Let me go grab some burgers. Let me go grab a box of chicken. We just want to get home and feed the family because we're tired. We don't feel like cooking, and we just need to put something on the table for dinner. So we've just compromised not just ourselves, but our entire family. Okay. And we wonder why we have so much going on inside of the household. Right. So you definitely are going to have to increase the vibration of your food before consuming it. Okay. And I'm just getting y'all used to looking at energy, because I think that we all believe that I got to see it for it to be. You know, if that's how you still living, then listen, the rest of this universe is not going to be for you. You have to know it. It's not about what you see. It's about what you know. And what I know, I don't see all of that here, but I know it's here. I know what I experience. I know what's going on. Okay. But I don't see it in this third dimension all the time. It's not always in front of my face. You don't have to, you know, physically touch it for you to believe that it is there. Even when it comes to what it is that you want, you shouldn't have to, I got to see it to believe it. No, you got to believe it in order to see it. That's how it goes. You have to believe it in order to see it. So the energy that you're putting out there, okay, like waiting on something to happen, the universe is going to recognize you as somebody who's waiting. So it's going to keep you in a waiting phase. You're going to stay in a waiting area. You're not going to move forward. So definitely make sure that, you know, when it comes to, you know, your thoughts, when it comes to your actions, you guys really pay attention to energy. Everything is about energy, 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 energy. You know how it is when you meet somebody, you pick up on a vibe, Chad. You pick up on a vibe, okay? I know some of y'all probably struggling to stay in this live. Y'all know YouTube done put me in a little corner again, honey. Siren have to face the wall for whatever reason. I don't know. I got to make sure people ain't put my channel back on kids only, because, you know, somebody thought it was funny to go in and put my channel for under 18. So as I'm having these type of conversations with y'all, I'm wondering why a whole bunch of 9-year-olds are on a live. Child, you got to laugh at them, okay? You really do. You have to laugh at these beings out here because they are funny, okay? They are very much so funny. So yes, shout out to everybody who's tuned up into, and thank you again to everybody who come in and give the video a big old fat thumbs up. All right. So I'm just going to get some messages out here, you guys. We're going to continue to talk about how it is that you guys need to level yourself up, what you can do. I always tell you also feng shui. Feng shui is very important. You guys learn how to feng shui your house so that you can bring about prosperity as well as good health. Prosperity and good health, you guys. I think I'm going to go into that very deep, like for 2026, because when it comes to health, you guys, a lot of y'all, it's almost like if there was somebody who made house visits who just say, if you just move this sofa over here, your stomach will stop hurting. You know, if you just, move this, or if you just put a plant right here, you will stop having headaches at night. Y'all, it's serious like that. It's really like that serious where we need to look at things like that. When it comes to the way that we are living, you guys, some of us, our house, because remember, your house represents your body. It represents you. It represents what's going on inside of you. So if things are out of order in your house, of course, you're going to understand why things are out of order in your life. Now, I have been seeing quite a bit of flies. Okay. Like I'm talking like an abnormal amount. Now I do live in a place or in a state where during the summer, like summer, fall, we do get a lot of flies because I can go to other people's house and oh my God, it's so many flies. When I say so many flies, it's so many flies. I'm like, oh, I can't even eat nothing because I'm just like, no. It's just too many flies for me to eat. And it's nothing against them or their food. It's just when I see a fly makes me not want to eat. Remember that movie back in the day, The Fly, when Jeff Goldblum, he bit onto that donut and he barfed on it, and I would just, it makes me think of that. The Fly really makes me think of that nasty stuff right there. But yeah, there's been a lot of flies, a lot of insects. And I want you guys to really look at reversing things, y'all. Okay. Because it's something that I myself had to do. And when I say reversing things, listen, remember a fly. When we think about a fly, we think nasty. Okay, it must be disgusting because a fly is around, or if a fly land on something, I don't want to touch it. I don't know about y'all. But I don't. Fly is just, because when a fly lands, it lays eggs. Majority of the time, it only lands to lay eggs, right? So if a fly land on your food, it's laying some eggs, on your food, right? So I have been seeing a lot of flies. Now, what I want you guys to do is, I was wondering, I literally had to have a conversation with the damn flies, y'all. I'm like, listen, flies, okay? Like, I'm working too hard on myself, y'all. I'm doing a lot of sacrificing. I'm doing a lot of healing, a lot of detoxing. What's up with all the flies? You know what I'm saying? Hold up, let me pull it up right here. What's up with all the flies and why the flies? Like, y'all, when I say my daughter, okay, she ordered Uber Eats, right? When they put the food down, like literally it had to be from the time they put the food on the bench, on the porch, and probably by the time they walked from the bench on the porch to their car, which was at the mailbox, maybe about 30 steps. Okay. There had to be at least 60 flies on the bag of the food and the drink. Oh my God. I don't know how to eat it. But anywho, I was wondering where all these flies were coming from because my daughter messaged me. She's like, Mom, did something die in the yard? Like, why is there so many flies? And I'm just like, you know what? That's a great question. Now, part of my healing, okay, a part of my healing and healing practices that I've been doing, I have noticed that I get messages, okay? And I'm like, okay, the message of the fly, what is it saying to me? Because now there's a lot of flies and I'm paying attention to flies. There's a lot of flies. Everywhere I go, you guys, I'm seeing flies. And there is it's quite like obvious. And I think I saw one in my dream. Okay. So I said, what is it that the fly is trying to tell me? Because usually I'd be very disgusted with flies. But then this fly here was coming to symbolize adaptability, persistence, and transformation. So when flies come around, we always say, oh, something must have died. Something must have transitioned or transformed. And I noticed that I have been going through the energy of death, okay? A very powerful spiritual death. And this is why I noticed I started to attract a lot of flies. And I had to embrace the flies. The one thing that you know, every time I turn, you know, every time I turn around, I started to see the fly from a different perspective. And I started to appreciate the fly to say, wow, it doesn't have to always be something pretty. You know what I'm saying? Like usually dragonflies can represent transformation, which I've seen dragonflies as well. I've seen black butterflies. I've seen, a lot of different things that represent transformation. I've even seen the dang gone beetle. But when I saw this fly, I was rejecting the fly. I kept wanting the butterfly or the dragonfly, but I was rejecting the fly. Like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. But the fly represented, whenever you see, the fly represents those deep, 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 deep transformations. Okay. Meaning a dragonfly, you guys, when you see a dragonfly, it's flying in the air, it's minding its business. It may land on a flower or something like that, but a fly will land on a deceased animal. It will land on anything dead, roll, kill. It lands on the strongest type of transformation. When you see that fly, there has been a death. Okay. And it doesn't always show that when it's a like a dragonfly, like when they land on stuff, they land on cute stuff. You ain't gonna see no dragonfly landed on something passed on in the road. So I had to learn to appreciate, y'all, the fly. I'm like, wow, you are showing me something so different about me. You're educating me on something about me. And I had to really open myself up to this. So this is why, you guys, when it comes to energies, that's why I say we're going to have to see this world moving forward as energy. Okay. And we got to stop looking at, because everything has a positive and a negative. Everything has a good and a bad, up, down, whatever. I always tell you guys, a butter knife. You can take a butter knife and you can butter your bread. But you can also take a butter knife and you can, boop, you know what I'm saying, slang it at somebody and they poke their eye out with a butter knife. So a butter knife has a very good, thing that it does, but it can also be used for something bad as well, right? So when I saw these, when I started to see these flies and I started to notice that the universe was showing me a different side of healing, transformation. It was showing me a different side of life. Okay. Symbolism, all of that stuff. And perhaps there's things that you guys used to see as but now you need to open yourself up to, because sometimes it could be somebody who is interested in you. Let me tell y'all something. There's some guys out here that I'm like, oh, no, but there was this guy that I didn't date him, but I friend zoned him, right? Back in the day, I friend zoned this guy. And it was because he wasn't really to my liking. He was a little short. Well, he was a lot shorter than I would normally date. Okay. But one day I was on a bus stop. Okay. I was on a bus stop at this point. I didn't have a car at this particular time. And he pulled over and he was like, would you like a ride? Where you going? He was young. He was like my age. He was very young, maybe a little bit more older than me. Okay. But not too much. If I was 18, he was probably 20, 21, maybe, maybe 19, 20, 21 up in there somewhere. But this guy, you guys, was very nice to me. And I friend zoned him because he was short, a little stubby. And he had a buttocks a little bigger than a normal, guy's buttocks should be to me. right? And it wasn't giving like little person, but it was like he had the body of a little person. Okay, like he had hips and a buttocks. How more like how the little people, and he was just a little short. He maybe was five, 1, 2, 3, maybe up in there somewhere. I just remember him being very short, right? But you guys, he was the sweetest guy. And he would come. Now, this how throwback this was because Blockbuster was out. So on my days off, he would come over with Blockbuster movies and popcorn and cookies, whatever I like. I don't care what movie I wanted. He would come over about 5, 6 movies. Okay. And he would go to the grocery store and he would get groceries and stuff and bring all type of things to the house. Y'all, I don't care what it was that I needed. He was bringing it over there with some movies and stuff like that. And I would put a pallet on the floor for him to sleep. He would sleep in my room with me and spend the night, and I would make him a nice little pallet, right? Now, after about a month and a half of this, because this went on for maybe a couple months, I'm going to say about 2, almost 3 months, right? One night, he got up. He was watching a movie. I'm laying on the bed like this, watching a movie. And he's on the floor and he's like, watching a movie. So he just so happened to look up and look back at me. And he was like, man, when I'm going to get a chance to get in the bed? So I politely got up. I packed up his blanket and, all his movies and Blockbusters. And, I sent him on his little way. Listen, you're not, if that's what you come, listen, it won't happen. Okay. But that was the last time I, talked to him and heard from him, you guys. But the thing about it was, if I were to ever give a number of how all of the nice men who were very nice to me, he would be on that list. This guy was so respectful. I mean, he just respectfully asked, he's like, listen, I'm feeling you. I'm digging you. Like, I'm coming over here. I'm buying you stuff. I'm taking you everywhere you got to go. And, but I just wanted company at the time. That's it. Just a little friend. Right. And I wasn't vibing him like that. So I'm like, I'm not going to be laying up with you just because you brought some Blockbuster movies over here. If I cared for you, you would be paying a bigger bill. Okay. But yeah, so you guys, it's just opening yourself up to something different. Opening yourself up to and getting to know yourself, getting to know why don't you like this? Because if I were a single woman now, I would not have denied him. I would have allowed that relationship to blossom into whatever it may blossom into. Because this guy had a good job, y'all. Okay. He had his own car. He was everything I wanted. I never had to ask twice. What you want, what you need, very good, very nice guy, very respectful. Because like I said, he did that for months, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. He did that for months. And, I'm just like, I would give that person a shot, nowadays. I wouldn't let something like their height, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to tell you one thing I'm going to tell you about. Once you start laying up with a man, honey, everything about him become cute. They be looking at you like, oh, what's she seeing it? But everything about him become cute, honey. You get real possessive over him. Like, listen, little one, I know you was over there at Keita house the other day. Don't let me catch you over there. Listen, you start feeling some type of, that be your peace, honey. That be your peace now. So it's a different type of party. But open yourself up to different things, you guys. That's what I'm seeing now. I'm learning to not look at something and just say ill. I'm learning to look at something from a very balanced perspective. So when I talk about the homeless people, when I looked at them before, I used to always feel sorry, like, oh, give them money. I'm digging through my purse, all the time, giving them all the last little dollar bills I got, and just always felt the need to give and give and give. And now I'm like, what have you done to deserve my energy? Like, I remember working hard for this $1 or $2, or, one thing about me and B, me and Babe, we always give everybody $5. You got $5, $5, and I'm like, am I helping you or hurting you? But what have you done? And what are you going to give to me? Because there has to be an even exchange of energy. So That's what I'm saying. We have to learn to look at things from a totally different perspective, you guys. We're going to have to learn to balance the way we see things, the way we experience things, and people. Okay. Hey to everybody who's tuned up into. You say, what do gnats represent? Well, gnats get on my dangle. Y'all probably don't. On my vlogging channel, I say that. That's a total insider. But when you see those gnats, those sugar flies or something, they could be very annoying. But on a higher level, I would say gnats are probably like alarm clocks. Okay. Like they're trying to alert you, okay, for something. Like, wake you up to maybe you're not seeing something, and maybe there's it's aggravating to you on a soul level, and you're starting to experience it in the physical level as a little gnat, like, oh my God, but gnats are coming to, and they hang around, so they purposefully try to get your attention. So I always see in a higher level, I would say, okay, I'm tired of this gnat, but something is trying to get my attention. So I would see gnats as like an alarm system, okay, or some sort of siren, trying to wake you up to something, get you to see something that maybe you're not seeing, okay. But I would, definitely look into higher to see what it is that these insects, right? We have the insectinoids, you guys, the insectoids or insectinoids that are out here. That is a whole species of beings, okay? And they come to help, right? If they ain't biting you, all right, long as they ain't biting you, hey, they coming to alert you or to give you some sort of message. And we have to learn how to, hey, it's the dark side. I know they be like, oh, we've moved into the light ages, but it seems like the darker beings are being the nice beings right now. And when I say dark, I don't mean bad. I mean the ones who have been demonized, the ones who have been cast out. And a lot of it is a feminine energy, The divine feminine has been cast out for so long. So, you definitely want to get to embrace that divine feminine energy. Patreon, our August Patreon is going to be going up tonight. So maybe make sure you guys check out Patreon, okay? Make sure y'all check it out because very powerful messages are going out. We're looking into the August energies, y'all, okay? So I have some things that we need to do. And just to give you guys a quick update, okay? A quick update. Now listen. I am reintroducing, allow me some time to reintroduce myself, okay? Child, Mercury retrograde did not let it come out right, all right? All right, but listen, I am reintroducing the monthly boxes, okay? This is so y'all can level up. Y'all, remember when I used to have them all prettied out and stuff and they were themed? When I couldn't do that no more, I lost a lot of interest because, I wanted to keep things cost effective. So I had to cut back on some things. So I didn't want to give you guys a lower quality of an item. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I'm very bougie. I like everything big and pretty, So I am going to be reintroducing, and tomorrow, I wanted to show y'all tonight, but one of the items that are inside of the box did not show up on time. Okay, with Mercury retrograde, I'm still waiting on it. But the box is everything. It's fire. Okay. It is going to give you everything that you need to increase your vibration. It gives protection. It gives detoxing, cleansing, healing, clarification, wisdom. It helps you with your dreams. Like the energies that are going inside of the products in these boxes, you will get your oil. Okay, you know that. You will get your body wash, okay? You will get a body scrub. You will get a body spray. You will get a bath, okay? Yes, it's going to come with a spiritual bath. And you also get either a bracelet or a stone, okay? You're going to get incense as well and a candle. I didn't bring the candle, y'all. Did I bring? I'm gonna show y'all everything at once. Okay, that was somebody's order, so don't think that's the stuff that's going in there. But that is a hint of what you're gonna get. But yes, y'all, listen. Oh my God, we're looking into the energy of fall, and remember, I told y'all life is about energy. Okay, so I'm going to be helping y'all to work on your energy. Every month when you get this box, you're going to get a beautiful box, okay, that's going to be filled with some powerful, essential products, you guys, okay, that are going to get you through a lot of these frequencies that are going on, that are blocking us, that are stopping us, that are, slowing us down or whatever it may be. Y'all, you ain't gonna have no reason not to work on your spiritual frequency every month. One thing you're gonna be like, boy, my aura be popping. You're gonna love it, okay? So yes, I'm gonna be listening to them tonight. I know Patreon probably gonna hit them up. You guys, as soon as I drop these boxes, y'all know they tend to go really fast. And like I said, so that I can keep them in a very bougie state, I can only make so many. Okay, I don't have $1 million to buy, all these products and stuff like that. So I will have a limited supply of these boxes, as I always do, so that I could keep them nice and bougie and powerful. Okay, so please excuse me. For those of you who are not able to get your hands on one, you can always purchase one for the next month. Okay, that way you will be able to get them in advance. So the ones that I'm putting up now, you guys, are going to be for the month of August. That's why I wanted to get them out today. But like I said, the product, one of the things is missing. So I will show them to y'all tomorrow. Check the website throughout the night for when they do go up so you can get yours, you guys. For those of you who purchase through the website, please be advised, we do offer shop pay installments. For those of you who are eligible for that, honey, y'all better get y'all a corner on and stuff like that. Y'all better get it, okay? If God make a way for you to have it, then have it, all right? So yes, also, when it comes to the spiritual baths, so I made another major decision. When it comes to spiritual baths, you guys, I said, how can I lower the price without the product? So I did. Now, it was a very risky move, but it was one that took me all of this time. Okay, it took me damn near all of 2025 to make sure that this was the right move. So I had to remember, I told y'all everything is energy. I want y'all to listen to me when I talk. Okay, everything is energy, right? So when it comes to the products that I purchase, with all of the work that I've been doing, had to look at different regions where things grow, where certain herbs, plants, botanical products, where certain things grow. And what I did, I researched where the strongest frequency is. Now, let me give you an example. Let's say a mango, right? Let's say I grow a mango tree and you grow a mango tree, right? Let's say I stay 3 blocks over from you. But you drive by my house and my mango tree is big and it grows big mangoes and you see a lot of them on there. But when you go by your mango tree, the mangoes are probably a little bit smaller. You don't grow that many. They don't get that big. The tree may be looking a little scrawny and you just like, what did she do? And it's all about the energy. Okay? It really, truly is. Even when it comes to each and every one of us. The energy is different, so we are different, right? So what I did was I found the locations, the zones, okay, that has the strongest energy for certain things to grow. And I was able to then go and purchase from those areas. Now, with me having the most potent, okay, of the herbs and things that I use for the baths, now I was able to make the bath into a smaller packaging where you don't need as much. Okay, so when something is very strong and very potent, all you need is a little boop. Okay, so I was able to minimize the amount. And you guys, I didn't want everybody, tubs backing up, because you guys know it. That's why I don't use the big stuff, the whole flowers and stuff like that, and products and stuff. I use it very fine. So now it's even a little bit smaller. Okay, but more potent and definitely just as powerful. Okay, so yes, when you guys see me list the baths and things of that nature, you guys will definitely see the new pricing, and that's why. So when you get it, don't be like, "Oh, Simon cheated me out of." No, that's not what it is. And trust, I've been using them all of 2025, the exact amount, and I'm like, y'all, fire. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. So let's get this message, you guys, so we can get on up out of here. All right, we're gonna get the numerology, and we're gonna get this message. Okay. All right. So look, when it comes to love, I don't know if some of y'all dreaming about some little kinky stuff. Are y'all dreaming? Do you guys have dreams of people coming at you in the dream state, like trying to be intimate with you, or maybe kiss you, or maybe get to know you, or maybe who knows, whatever it may be. I have this I just see energies approaching. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Let me get these out the way. I see energies approaching. Some of you focusing. I just saw this number on my phone. It was you will see it. Anywho, some of you, whatever this energy is, okay. There's definitely energy around you. There's spirits around you, definitely trying to manipulate your emotions. Okay, so we got to be very careful. Protect yourself. Wear you some protective spray. Wear you some protective oil. Do some protecting measures. Wear you some protective jewelry. Whatever. If you don't have gemstones or any type of protective measures, you can just wear like black with the intent of shielding yourself. Okay, from low vibrational energies. You can put intention in your clothing. Okay, if you don't have anything tangible outside of that you can wear, like any gemstones or any type of oils or sprays or things of that nature. Some of you can just make you a general spray. Okay, Patreon, I give you guys a great recipe on a general spray that you can utilize to just it ain't gonna really like uplift you, but it'll definitely work and shield you. Okay. So yes, there's definitely some energy around, and it definitely appears to be coming either in the dream state, or either this is a very manipulative type of energy. Okay. Um, this is causing a lot of us to spend on passions, okay? Spend on things, maybe causing you to spend a lot of money that you shouldn't be spending, maybe causing you to order from Amazon a little more than you should, or going out to eat, or I'm just gonna go and get this $10 coffee. It's just causing a little splurge, okay? It could be, purchasing food, right? Causing you to spend a little extra money on food or things of that nature, you guys. So just be careful with this energy, okay? That is around. Um, some of you, it's time for either a new relationship. It's time for you. It's like there's this fire that is starting to, how you have a match and you flick it. It's like that. It's nothing big, but it's like you have the match and it's time for you to, what I'm saying? It's time for you to make a move, right? In some aspect of your life. Some of you, this could be in regards to relationships. It's time for you to move on. Okay. That one dead and gone. All right. It has expired. It's over, done, period. All right. I would definitely say go to Patreon and join us on Love is Love. Get those little weekly messages, honey. It's only $2.99 a month. You can't beat that. But get them little weekly messages, honey, because they be very powerful. Okay. When it comes to love, it's time for you to strike, honey, y'all. These energies that's around, it's like they're manipulating you, either with the person, okay, or the people that you come in contact with, or the people that you tend to date or be interested in. Listen, y'all got to stop falling for the okie doke. Stop falling for the okie doke, because these energies, oh, child, yes, they are coming through people attaching themselves to you to take your fortune, to take your improvement in life, to take your success, to take your power, to take your recognition. These entities are attaching themselves to people around you. Okay, so when it comes to love, be careful who it is that you're intimate with. Okay, be careful who it is that you laying up with, and be careful who it is that you're allowing to lay up and through you. Okay, because some of these things, okay, out here, honey, some of them things, okay, listen, they shooting more than a baby. Okay, they shooting some not semen but demons. Okay, that's what's coming through the chute. That's all I see. Demons being inserted into the womb, being inserted into your portal. And for the men, you're entering a portal full of demons. Okay, it's something up in there, men, that when you go in, it's in there grabbing on you like, come here, come here. You know what I'm saying? Be careful out here, y'all. Be careful. This is definitely giving incubus and succubus energy. Yes, it is, honey. Coming around to steal all of your fortune, keeping you stuck and keeping you in a cycle. Some of y'all need to wake up to this. A lot of you, there's a very powerful entity. And like I said, I don't like to call them demons. I say it to, so y'all can understand what I'm talking about. But I don't look at demons like that. You know what I'm saying? There are some angels out here that keep you stuck. But that's a whole other conversation. Okay? It's like there is a very powerful energy that is connected to a bloodline of a family, you know what I'm saying? That has been traveling through the family. I'm talking the kids, the grandparents, the aunties, the uncles, the mamas, the daddies, you. There is a entity, there is a energy that has been manipulating the whole dang on family. You know how did you have some families where it's like all of the aunts are single, or all of the uncles are in jail, or all of the men of the family seem to have hard times, or all of the women seem to have a whole bunch of kids, but no baby daddies. It's that type of energy. This is something, you guys, that is affecting the whole family, like generations. Generation on top of generation on top of generation. But this being is so powerful, okay? It is so strong. It is so big. It is a being that almost is like over this realm. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of energy, like that type of whatever it is very big. Be careful when you go to sleep. Y'all, no eating in your dreams and no intimacy, okay? In your dreams. Try to stay away. Try to raise your frequency to where when you are in a dream state, you can say no, thank you. Okay. Or if that entity come and try to seduce you, that's what they do. It try to seduce you first, and then it be like all up on, you scared. Or either you can wake yourself up from the dream. You be like, oh, get up. You know what I'm saying? Before they really get into it, get up. Because these are some heavy contracts. Okay. These are heavy contracts that are being initiated. Okay. A lot of you are being initiated into secret societies you don't even know about. Your whole family, okay, has been initiated into these secret cults, okay, that you guys didn't even know about. And you probably saying, well, how is it if my grandma did it, then how? Because they come at you in a dream state. They don't come at you in the third dimension at all. They come at you in the dream state. And a lot of you are signing contracts in the dream state and you don't know it. A lot of you pay attention to the fact of when these people go to prison and they give them 2 life sentences, like what the? When they 50 years old, but I'm going to sentence you to 80 years. What? It doesn't make sense. Why don't you just say life in prison? No, I'm sentencing you to 80 years. So when you come back in your next life, you will have whatever age you die in this lifetime. When you come back, we got you for another X amount of years in prison. Y'all, they signing these agreements, okay? You have to understand the terms and conditions. That's what you guys need to pay attention to, the terms and conditions of everything. You need to pay attention to everything that you're getting involved in. This is why y'all see I'm not really on social media like that. Instagram, I deleted all that, okay? To hell with it. I don't care. They told me, oh, you need to get on this. You need to get on that. No, because of the terms and conditions. A lot of these people don't understand that, with all these robots that they're building, where do you think these robots are getting these damn, this conscious from, y'all? Okay? Get the real. Y'all think, oh, this is Chat GPT. No, that's probably your great aunt, or maybe that's your cousin that got killed. These people are not able to get out of even the death realm. We think that, oh, when you die from this realm, that's it. Oh, no. Oh, no, you're still probably being held in a whole other dimension that you don't even know how to get out of that one. And they just trapping your little soul and keeping your ashe over in this dimension. And now they got you as somebody's Apple Watch. Okay? All these smart homes, smart cars, smart TV, every damn thing smart, but the people. So yes, that's what this energy is. Whatever this energy is definitely having an influence over a lot of fortune in love, and a lot of fortune in money. And this is something that is affecting a lot of generations. The cards that is coming up, you guys, we have the number 88. This is a reward. Okay. The number 88, you guys. So if you're seeing this number, this is telling you about a reward that you should be getting, like your inheritance. This is everything that's due to you by just being here on this earth, on this planet. This is everything that is due to you. There's a reward that you guys should be getting. It's karmic, okay, with that number 88. But we have this 808. Look at what's in between your reward. Look at what's in between your 8 and your 8. There's a 0 there. Okay, so this is spacing you. Something is in the way of you receiving your reward. Okay, and we got to make sure that we get to know what that is. That 808 represents the energy of security, the need to protect and secure your reward. Okay, perhaps with whatever this entity is, okay, it has placed that 0, okay, I'm sorry, that 0 in between this 88 to stop you from getting your rewards, to stop you from getting your inheritance, to stop you from getting what it is that is naturally yours. A lot of you, it can just be your gifts. A lot of you, I'm telling you, you guys are supposed to really be doing it big out here. This is why you're so connected to bougie and expensive and exclusive things, because really that's your natural energy. But you're living in the denial or in the frequency of this dang on avatar that says you just Shakita Jenkins or John Jacobs. We have to really tap into our higher self, our higher being, you guys. And it's time for us, honestly, to wake up. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning into your girl Siren. I appreciate you. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, y'all.